Hello. These messages are for fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Go ahead and go to Instagram to check out my short 1-minute version of this reading. I'm actually doing these a day late this week. So this is going to be for Wednesday the 7th through April the 14th, midweek to midweek. We do have a new moon in Aries happening April 12th. New moons are great for setting intentions, and this is the first new moon of the new astrological year. So it has a lot of power in being the very, very, very first one, and it's in the sign of Aries, which is a very strong, passionate, independent, pioneering, blazing, fire-blazing sign. So really, really great energy. I will be doing a new moon ritual over on Instagram live with my homegirl Derica. We do them there. More than likely it will be on Sunday, April 11th. Sorry, it hasn't been confirmed yet. So what else? Any other messages? No, if you want to book a personal reading, I'll put that information down below. If you have any comments, any questions, anything, please go ahead and comment, like, subscribe, do all the things. I really appreciate it. I'm not super good at this YouTube thing. I'm still learning. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and go for it. See what's going on with my fire signs. I am Aries rising. I love me some fire signs. All right. What's going on this week? April 7th to April 14th. What messages do fire signs need to hear? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You're almost happy. You're happy, but almost. Not yet. Not quite. All right. So the first thing coming up for you is euphoria, chasing thrills, joy, and laughter. It did come out sideways, though, so that kind of means that... Oops, sorry about that. It did come out sideways, so sorry about that. If you didn't notice in that initial part of the video, people were screaming. There was a lizard in the house. All right. Okay, so euphoria. So almost happy. It feels like because it was sideways, it's almost happy. We're chasing this joy. We're chasing this laughter. We're exploring concepts of happiness, of joy. There's also this thing that like Brene Brown talks about in her, what's it called? Daring Greatly, about foreboding joy, and how sometimes we're afraid to feel joy because feeling joy makes us feel vulnerable, and then we start to disaster fantasize of all the things that can go wrong. So it'll be like, oh my gosh, everything's going great, I got into this college, my kids are healthy, and then all of a sudden, like in your mind, you're like, oh, something's just gonna go wrong, right? So there's that. And then I also have boundaries here on the bottom. No, drawing the line. It could also be that you are experiencing a sense of euphoria from practicing some boundaries, from saying no to some things that you know you should have said no to, and you did it this time, and it's working out. Let's see what the tarot has to say. What's going on with the fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Lizard situation. Oh, that's why, because they're upside down. I was like, my cards are they feel weird. All right. Okay. So what's going on? There we go. Fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. All right. Nice. It looks like relationships are looking a little bit better. The conversations being had are better, especially when it comes to family dynamics, family relationships. We are fire signs, building some independence, building some sustainability, building some wealth, building some inner strength, right? Nine of Pentacles. This is also materializing some stuff. And then underlying energy, Ace of Swords, is about also gaining some mental clarity, starting to speak some truth, starting to speak on that truth, right? Which is fantastic. Good for you. This is a good place to start the week off with, okay? Yeah, your partnerships also, like your business partnerships, are looking pretty strong. You're a very key player in the things that you're doing. You're very, very important to the project, to the product, to the place, to the workplace, to the family, all of those things. What's a challenge that we're facing this week? For fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What's a challenge? What is a challenge? Fire signs. Okay, so there are some challenges. The first card that came out says lust, intensity, sexual energy, non-committal. And usually for me, that card is about like not committing to something. Like I'll say, you know, don't commit. But this is actually feeling like sexual energy. So you may be having some sexual tension with someone. You may just be having some tension that kind of feels like that. That could also be it. There also may be some tension due to a lack of commitment, some tension due to a lack of intensity due to intense arguments, okay? And then we have epiphany here, realizations, understandings, and awakenings. So wherever you feel a sort of tensity, right? There's something that you're not totally 100% privy to. There's something that you're not 100% aware of in the situation, okay? Because this is coming up as a challenge, right? So when things come up as a challenge, it means you're not achieving it yet, or there's something that you need to do in order to overcome this challenge, this blockage. All right. Underlying energy here says clashing, differences, incompatibility, and conflict. So let's see what the challenge is. You or someone around you, because your cards looked great, you or somebody around you is struggling with overthinking a lot. Just overthinking, being a prisoner within your own mind. Wheel of Fortune also is saying like things are changing, and you or someone around you, it may be someone around you, or specifically Aries, because we have this Aries underlying energy. Oh, and then Sagittarius for the Temperance card. You might also be dealing with an Aries. Or someone around you may be having a hard time with accepting that it's time for something to change. And maybe that's the epiphany that you need to have this week, is like, it's okay for things to change. It's okay for things to transition. It's okay for them to look different. It's okay for them to not be exactly what you thought they were going to be. Okay, underlying energy with the Fool card is also take a leap of faith. Okay, you're being asked right now to have some faith. Yes, sometimes we clash, and sometimes we're faced with challenges, and sometimes things change. But these challenges, these clashes, these differences, as sucky as they are in the moment, exist in order to help us grow. There is somewhere where we're stuck, and these challenges present an opportunity where we can use them to either acknowledge things within ourselves or get unstuck from something that just wasn't working. Okay, what advice do we have for the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius? That one flew out. I feel like I should do one more shuffle. Advice for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Oh, this is a lot. But let's see. Let's go one at a time. So first we have rejection, irrational fear, saying no, dismissal. We have roaming wild, free-spirited, risks, possibilities. We have time. Time came up twice, okay, because of that Wheel of Fortune. Wait, cycles, infinity. And longing, aching, pining, past love. Okay, so the first thing I'm getting from this is that there may be some irrational fear of rejection. There may be some irrational fear that saying no is not gonna, saying no to this opportunity that's not feeling 100% good is gonna risk you having greater possibilities of something. It could also be that maybe you're in the in-between space right now and you're afraid that you're gonna be rejected in some way. And you may be feeling dismissed, or like someone is dismissing you, but this is in the position of the advice. So when rejection, this card here is in the position of the advice. It's saying this is an irrational fear. This is something that you're creating in your mind, okay? And it's limiting your freedom. Instead, you need to consider the possibilities. You need to consider the freedoms that this situation allows you. Use gratitude, right? Use grace. Be grateful for this opportunity, whether it's challenging or whether it's different or whatever it is. And then we have time. Accept that it's time. Accept that it's time for this cycle to shift, because that's what cycles do. They shift. Sometimes we're in the beginning, sometimes we're in the messy middle, sometimes we're closing things out, right? But you have to accept that that's a process. Now we also have longing, aching, pining, past love, and acknowledge your feelings, right? Acknowledge your feelings for yourself and be mindful of your feelings, but don't be mindful of them without allowing them to dictate what you're doing, what your actions are, right? So how am I trying to say this? So it's good to be mindful of your experience, of how you feel, but be careful not to totally engulf yourself in that and cling to it, and be careful not to over exaggerate. Did I say that already? All right, advice. What advice do we have for the fire signs? Also use, like, you've been through these changes before. Underlying energy, we have deja vu. Use previous tools that you've used, okay, to get you through things. I knew the Six of Cups was going to come out because of that longing past. I was seeing the Six of Cups in my mind. Any more advice for fire signs? Nice. Okay, so we have the Nine of Cups. Instead of focusing on rejection, instead of focusing on this irrational fear, focus on the fact that the situation now is happening in order to lead you in the direction that you want to go. It's to build your strength, to build your emotional strength. Also really think about what it is that you want. The Nine of Cups is about wish fulfillment. It's about feeling satisfied, feeling content. That's the word I was looking for. Feeling content, okay? And we'll put this all together in a second. And then we have the Six of Cups. This is reconnecting with your younger self. This is reconnecting with your children. This is also a sense of nostalgia, okay? This is also kind of looking back into the past. You might also be meeting somebody that you've been connected to in a past life, or connected to in the past in this life. King of Wands, you might be dealing with another fire sign or somebody with really strong fire placement in their chart. The King of Wands is also an energy, and this is in the advice section, where it's time for you to really, sit in your power, embrace the fire element that we're in right now, Aries, okay? Embrace it, whether you're Leo or Sag. This is a power position for you. We do have that new moon, right? So this is a great time for you to set those manifestations. You're in power. You may also want to, it looks like, approach your boss about something. Approach your boss about what it is that you want, right? Or approach your partner about what it is that you want, especially if they are another fire sign. Express your fear of rejection, be a little bit vulnerable. Definitely be vulnerable, okay? Be honest. I would say wait till we're closer to the middle of next week after that new moon energy, because the new moon energy is going to be shifting so much that I think once we get out of that new moon around the 13th, 14th, it's going to be easier to have conversations and to be vulnerable and to really express what it means to be free for you. All right, but it's time to have that conversation. All right. Let me know if that resonates. Okay, outcome. What is the result of this? What do we have to look forward to at the end of next week or the middle of next week? Okay, let me see if there's anything else. Outcome. Nope, that was it. And we also have the Queen of Swords here on the bottom, so you might be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm going to leave her out here. Yeah, it might be time to cut something off too. All right, so let's see what the outcome is. Ooh, and then the sword fell out. Nice. Sevens. All right, so what happens here? The outcome that we have to look forward to. We have distance, barrier, space, and separation. Okay, so we do have some separation. Maybe having that conversation, being vulnerable, is another opportunity for you to ask for some space. That's not bad. Okay, that's not a bad thing. You may be feeling that there is a final straw, an overload, a breaking point for you near the end of the week. So I'm asking you to practice that patience a little bit and practice understanding that it is time for the change, because at the end of the week, you're going to be asked to make a move, to make a decision, to speak your truth, to gain some clarity of thought, and also to possibly cut somebody off. And then we have the 7 of Pentacles here, which is about being patient. Okay, making a move and then having to wait a little bit. But you have been cultivating a lot of growth. You have been cultivating a lot of options. And it seems like once you set that limit, right? Once you set that decision, all of these opportunities start to come in. Opportunities, money, abundance, okay? So that arrives after you get over this fear of rejection or this fear of change. You agree, you decide what it is that you actually want. You make the move to ask for what you want, because it's time. All right. And it's possible that you cut somebody off in the process, or that somebody may cut you off, but that's for your better, that's for your greater good. Okay. So be patient. Let's see what the goddess cards have to say. Fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You are definitely riding into this week, though, even in your partnerships, feeling very independent, okay? I see a lot of really independent moves here. Fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. All right, cool. Kuan Yin, compassion, release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. So practice some compassion this week. If you're the one that's having to say, hey, it's time for this to happen, just be compassionate. Other people may not be ready, but it's time. Vesta, home, your household situation is improving either through a move or a healthy change in the occupants. That's promising. And then we have Rhiannon, sorceress. You are a magical person who can manifest your intentions into reality. So that new moon. That new moon energy, what is the fantasy that you want to live, right? What is the fantasy that you want to achieve? And then on the bottom here, we have Sarasvati, the arts. Express yourself through creative activities. So we talked about expression as well. And so if you're maybe struggling with having a conversation, maybe this is a great week to put that expression into your art. Yes, yes. Fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Interesting. Not on theme, or not on trend, but yeah. So the first one that came out, it says release. Oh, but we did talk about releasing something. Okay, so it is on trend. My bad. All right. So the first thing we have here is release with this sword, which is supposed to represent a ceremonial sword that the Sikhs would use to cut away negative energy. So remember that advice about deciding what it is that you want, being vulnerable, having the conversation, reaching out, and having to cut something off or someone off. You know what that is, okay? Death card, this is also transmuting, allowing the old to die, right? That's what we're doing when things are changing, right? Even if it's like moving houses, you have to allow that old reality to die so that you can move into that new reality, okay? And then we have power. You are powerful. You are strong. Again, we are in a fire season, okay? It says, you are powerful, you are worthy, you are sovereign. I love that word. It's time to remember your worth. This card is inviting you to take your place in the starring role of your life. There's no need to play small here. You're being granted permission to display your strengths for all to see at this time. So yeah, so remember, we also saw this King of Wands and we talked about stepping into the power. I definitely think that's the advice as well for this week, is like use your... I was cut off, sorry. So yeah, so the other advice for this week, it's definitely about using your power, using your talents, whether that's artistic talents, interpersonal talents, communication talents, marketing talents, whatever that is. Really lean into that so that you can cultivate what it is that you want to cultivate for this new moon, to supercharge it with your intentions. Underlying energy here says jealousy, so be mindful. This could mean that somebody's being jealous of you, right? So protect yourself. It could also be that you might be experiencing jealousy. And if you are, I urge you to really look at what the root cause of that is, because it's hurting you more than it's hurting other people. And it can take from you. It can give power to other people instead of giving that power to yourself. 2 more decks and then we're done, okay? So I want to use the Moonology deck, especially because we have that new moon this week, especially. All right, for the fire signs. Ooh la la. Wow, heavy Libra energy, fire signs, heavy. You might be dealing with a Libra. All right, so prosperity lies ahead. F yes. A win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra, which we just had. A new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. Yes, love is in the air, y'all, which is great because now we go to romance angels. Let's see what we got here. Messages for the fire signs, please. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Oopsie. Fell on the floor. Oh, that one flew out nicely. Slow motion, that one, huh? For me. All right. Fire signs, your romance angel messages are: let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally. Playfulness. To recoup romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So if you're going like on a trip, or if you're spending time with your, partner, or spending time with yourself even, allow yourself to play, allow yourself to have fun. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking steps you are guided to take. And I really heavily am feeling that with the self-love. Make the effort with yourself to give yourself your 5-minute meditation in the morning, to give yourself a bath, to do whatever it is that you need to do to love yourself. Make that effort this week. It's really going to support you in being able to communicate your stuff and express yourself. All right, so those are your messages. I wish you all the best. Happy week. I'll see you after the new moon on April 12th. I can't talk. April 12th. And yes, all right, love you. Bye.